Hi there, it's Mr. Clark. Welcome to lesson 8.2.2 on diminished seventh chords. So the whole idea of the dominant area is that we're increasing the tension before we resolve back to tonic. So we have our 7 diminished triad. So in order to increase tension, it's kind of natural, like, hey, you might slap a 7th on that chord. So we're going to be looking at diminished 7th chords in this section, how they function in diatonic harmony. So in major, it would be 7, 2, 4, and 6, in minor, which is a half diminished 7th chord. So half diminished, 7, half diminished 7, there we go. And in minor, 7, 2, 4, and flicks, which is a fully diminished 7 chord. Sometimes in major, you'll even use this version, you'll put an accidental and make the 6 a flicks instead, and just to ratchet up the tension there, to make, because fully diminished 7ths are even more like, oh, it needs to resolve because it has multiple tritones, it has all the tritones. So when you're writing one of these chords, you kind of need all of the chord tones. There are no unimportant chord tones. If you leave out the fifth, your ear is going to assume it's a perfect fifth, but it's not here. It's a diminished fifth, so you need all of the chord tones. So root position, first inversion, second inversion are all pretty common. Third inversion is less common. So resolving to 1, your 7 goes to 1, 4 goes to 3, so you resolve that tritone inwards. 6 wants to go to 5 because it's the chordal root third, fifth, 7th. Chordal 7th resolves down. And then to resolve this, that can go either to 1 or to 3, whichever way. If it's in minor, it would be more common for it to go up to 3 because flicks and 2 again is a tritone. And it's spelled as a diminished fifth, it's going to want to go inwards to 5 and 3. So here are some common resolutions. So here's the first one. We're in C. So our first one is going... So we have a half diminished 7th going to a 1 chord. In the bass, we have our tritone resolving inwards, and in the treble clef, you have your parallel fourths going on. Here in number 2, this is more standard where both of them resolve inwards, so that's pretty standard. Here you have another, 3 and 4, you have another instance of a diminished fifth to a perfect fifth, which is okay. It's allowed because it's not 2 perfect fifths in a row. So here in minor, we have... And you might prefer that because it has a better doubling in the tonic chord. Instead of having 2/3, you double the root instead. And then in 4, you see it in a passing figure from 1 to 1, 6. That's what's going on there. And in this case, you have the 1, 1, 1, 2, flee in the bass and flee 4, 5 in the soprano, which also motivates those that diminished fifth perfect fifth figure. And then here are some examples in first inversion and second inversion in major and then minor. So I'll play those so you can hear what they sound like. So that's with the half diminished 7th, and then the fully diminished 7th in minor. I'm sorry. There we go. So that's what's going on here. Go ahead and practice with this, and I'll see you next time.